This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
Tonight, a man is recovering in the hospital after a police officer shot him in North St. Louis. It all started with a stolen car. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. Mike Bush is off tonight. The shooting happened at the intersection of Dr. Martin Luther King and Byrd shortly after noon. 5 on your side's Mercedes McKay was at the scene all day. She joins us live from police headquarters downtown. What can you tell us, Mercedes?
Kelly and Ann, well, first off, thankfully, everyone that was involved in this situation is expected to be okay. But there were several victims involved in this that were just innocent drivers. So what started as suspects fleeing from officers turned into 4 adults and 1 child getting caught up all in the middle of it. Hours ago, this is what the scene looked like. Take a look at your screen now. So shortly before noon, St. Louis Police's mobile reserve unit spotted a stolen car. When officers tried to pull it over, it sped away. As officers were chasing the stolen car, it turned into oncoming traffic. This caused a crash with 2 other vehicles. The passenger of the stolen car got out, tried to run away from officers, and then pointed his gun at the officer. That's when the officers shot once at the suspect, shooting him in the thigh. Today, Lieutenant Colonel Michael Sack spoke about how scary it was for the innocent drivers to be caught up in the middle of this mess.
And they really had nowhere to go. You know, I commend both drivers. You know, they didn't panic, apparently, because it doesn't look like either one of them hit the gas. They both veered to get out of the way, which is probably the best thing that you can do in this circumstance.
One of the cars involved in that crash had 2 men and 1 woman in it. They were all treated at the hospital right now for their injuries. Another one of those cars had a woman and a child in it. They were both treated at the scene. Again, everyone is expected to be okay. Coming up at 6, all share a common trend police say they're seeing with many suspects in the guns they're carrying. Live at police headquarters, Mercedes McKay, 5 on your side.
Tonight we're learning new information about the 3 teens killed in a car crash in University City Wednesday morning. All 3 of the victims were just 15 years old, and all of them were from Olivet, and they attended Ladue Horton Watkins High School. 5 on your side's Travis Cummings is live from University City with the latest information from investigators, and we are also hearing from the family of 2 of the victims. Travis.
Yeah, Kelly, you still see remnants of this crash, like this piece of car here and the home boarded up where it crashed into, as well as those bricks. But people have been coming by all day, dropping off flowers, stuffed toys, balloons to pay tribute to the family. Exactly. We want to get you their pictures up because they are being remembered as close friends tonight. That is Dion Robinson, Johnny Ursery, and Demetrius Ingram, all 15 years old. Missouri State Highway Patrol said the 3 were inside a Hyundai Accent about 7 a.m. on Wednesday that crashed into the home here on Groby Road near Mulberry Lane. Investigators say Robinson was the driver of the car. It belonged to his mother. The crash report says the boys were traveling eastbound on Groby Avenue, east of Gay Avenue. The vehicle was traveling too fast for the conditions, and the driver did not negotiate a left curve. The Hyundai swerved to the right side of the roadway, damaged the front of the car, and hit this vacant home. We heard from Robinson and Ingram's families.
It's just a horrible day. Ladue school did an awesome job. You know, the kids all showed up.
It's unbelievable, unreal still. I'm still processing it. Yeah, it's a hard one.
And we learned today that this property actually belongs to St. Louis Alderwoman Sharon Tyus. We're going to hear from her later today at 6. Now, we did check in with University City PD. They are looking at crash statistics for this very intersection, and we hope to bring you more information about that later on. But for now, we're live in St. Louis County. Travis Cummings, 5 on your side.
Right now, Clayton police need your help finding this man. Jose Gomez Velasquez is charged with kidnapping and sexual assault. Police say he kidnapped a woman last month while she was walking in Richmond Heights. Then he allegedly took her car to Oak Knoll Park where he assaulted her. Police say he has some noticeable features like a piercing in his right cheek and a large owl tattoo on his throat. If you have information, you should call Clayton Police. That number, 314-290-8425.
Police say a woman found dead in Ferguson was killed by her own son. Rochelle Hubbard's body was found in a backyard on Blanding Drive earlier this week. She suffered from blunt force trauma. Her body was hidden under a wheelbarrow, wrapped in bed sheets and plastic. Prosecutors have charged her son, Rodney Hubbard, with second-degree murder and tampering with evidence.
Today, St. Louis County announced a new Hyundai anti-theft mobile clinic in Jennings. As we've been reporting, Kia and Hyundai thefts are rising in our area. The companies now have a technology update they say will help solve the issue. Police say Jennings alone saw 194 car thefts last year and has already seen 184 this year. Hyundai owners can get the technology installed for free this weekend at the Urban League in Jennings.
Today is a true reflection of how a community should operate. When there's a major problem or issue, a community brings the stakeholders to the table to find solutions for the problem at hand.
This is important. You know, we can talk about what's happening or we can do something about it. This is how you can do something about it.
Just stop by the Urban League on Jennings Station Road this Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m.
President Biden's second attempt at forgiving or suspending some student loan debt collection is facing political pushback.
While groups are challenging the SAVE plan in court, the plan to reduce student loan debt faces gridlock in Congress. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, talked to two senators with competing views on student loans.
Kelly and Ann, Senator Tammy Duckworth and Senator Eric Schmidt are responding to yesterday's visit from Education Secretary Miguel Cardona. He promoted the administration's SAVE plan that reduces student loan monthly payments for people with lower income, even zeroes out those payments for many minimum wage workers. Biden and his backers have sold the upside of keeping those dollars circulating through the economy instead of coming out of the pockets of people already living paycheck to paycheck. Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt said if the president wanted to give that kind of relief, he first has to persuade Congress to vote on it.
This belongs in the legislative branch. If this is a policy they love so much and so popular, you know, run it through Congress. But these agencies can't just make it up as they go along.
That's going to take Republicans coming on board, and so far they have resisted doing so. In the meantime, if we can find a way to reduce student loan debt and start forgiving some of them, I'm all on board, because students, you know, there's more student loan debt held in this country than credit card debt.
Schmidt and Duckworth appeared on the record on 5+ as the Senate returns to action after this summer break. You can find their full interviews up on KSTK.com.
We have an update on a potential strike for United Auto Workers. Today, General Motors tells us it has made an offer, but the union's president calls it, quote, insulting. The union is negotiating new labor contracts with GM, Ford, and Stellantis. That affects about 4,000 workers at the GM plant in Wentzville. Workers want a 46% pay raise, a 32-hour work week with 40 hours of pay, and traditional pensions for new hires. GM offered a 10% pay increase for most workers, along with a more than $5,000 bonus. Today, we talked to Wentzville's mayor about the negotiations.
They just want to be treated fairly and paid fairly. As the economy's growing, everybody's getting raises, and everything, the cost of everything's going up, food, you know, the cost of goods and services, so they want to be compensated as well.
Contracts end on September 14th, so if there is no deal, workers would strike starting next Friday.